Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of October the 18th, 2024. Alita's Martial Arts Revisited, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and even the anime, and where we hope to get those sequels, and we're going to keep fighting for it until we do. I am your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and my he's not my co-host, but he kind of is right now because Angelus is not here yet, is Smedrick, and he's from Deutschland.
Yes, hello, Hunter Warriors. Hello, Vladdy. Welcome back.
Smedrick, long time no see.
I guess there's an inside joke there.
Well, we were just talking 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. And from the Shires in the UK is Vladdy. How's it going, Vladdy?
Hello, very nice evening to you all.
Same to you, Mr. Vladdy. And we hope you guys all out there in the chat, which there's not that many of you out there, but I hope you enjoyed that intro of
Where's Angelus? Don't we need him for this topic?
Well, I know a little bit about martial arts since I'm a black belt, but Angelus, yeah, he said he would be on, but Angelus, he's always late. He's
always sleeping in, lazy bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he kind of marches to his own drummer, I think. Yeah, that's right. For sure. And did we lose somebody? No, I don't guess we did. I saw something flash there. I've been wanting to use my camera on these things, but I guess my internet's been really dodgy here the last week or so. So I'm going to leave my camera off, I think. So
my internet's been cutting out recently, so if I disappear, it's probably because of that.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's an intermittent fault. I always search like Virgin Media because that's the name of the company on Twitter, and there's always people like getting completely pissed off with them. So I know, okay, it's not just a me problem. Everyone else is going crazy about it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that intro of our beautiful queen because
I missed it.
Well, in my book, our queen is beautiful, that's for sure. And she's a great actress too. But we'll be talking about her a little bit later on too, and toward the end anyway, we'll give her a shout out. So yeah. We do have. Go ahead.
Send a very warm welcome to the guys in the chat.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and especially Batman. Maybe you want to come into the street, into our street.
Yeah, let's see. Let me put a little bit of a thing there. So, oops, I can't do that one.
Because he can support us. Really.
Yes, he can.
Indeed.
I don't know, Bad Man. Do you have any martial arts experience there, Bad Man?
I don't, by the way.
That's all right, Bloody.
I'm just staying in here just to like wind me down until I go to sleep.
Okay. So anyway, guys, if anybody wants to join us in talking about this particular topic, just click on that link you see there, and I will bring you in, and we can have a chat about our girl and her martial arts abilities and techniques and things like that. And I got a couple of videos we're going to play, maybe 3 or 4, and then just discuss it. And hopefully Angelus will be on by then, but you know how that goes. One thing I would say too, though, is we do have Rosa's Queen Studios bust. She knows we have it. She knows my contact information. I got her contact information. So it's just a matter of time. Whenever she's ready for it, we'll get that bust to her for sure. So
exactly. Whenever she's ready.
Whenever she's ready. I'm not.
Just hit the reply to Creaky's email.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole thing of it is, yeah, for sure. That's what we want to do.
Easy. Such a simple thing.
Well, it's
got to reply to the email.
Well, she's busy, and she may be on vacation too. So I'm not, I'm not worried about it. I think she'll,
Yeah, give it a
when
few
she's
months
ready.
before you start to think we're being
Yeah, when she's ready.
left
So,
unread.
So, but anyway, we got that bust for her. She was really pleased that we do have. She had no idea that we had this bust, and she was absolutely delighted about it. And they even told me the second time I went to see her, she said something to the effect of, I want the bust, or I'm just excited, or something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but she's definitely she definitely wants the bust. There's no doubt about it. Because this is a bust. This is not something we're giving her as a gift. This is not a gift. This is an award that we want to give her, for being our queen, and for portraying Rosa, portraying Alita in the movie, and other accomplishments. She's been in a lot of other movies. I mean, not just this one. So, but since she's our queen, we want to express our appreciation, admiration, and affection for her, because Rosa's great, man. She's a really good person, I think, and just really just an all around, a great individual in my book, and certainly a great actress. But let's move on before the creek makes himself into an idiot, So we have the Alita sequel petition going on, and we've added, since last week, we've added 17 signatures, which is
Boom. Massive increase.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Now I put some money in there because I promised Lottie down there that I was going to put some money in.
I don't know why you keep saying that. It was just a suggestion.
Well, yeah, but I still promised you
I was suggesting it was more effective at getting more petitions signed than
you
advertising on your YouTube.
You did.
We've been proven that it's more successful.
Well, I don't know yet. I mean, when I promoted it on my channel, we probably added about 100 on there, but it's still early on. So we'll see how this thing keeps going, for sure, but yeah, but Lottie, I did promise you, though. I mean, I definitely did, even though it wasn't just a suggestion on your part. I still promised you. So,
well, yeah, it's worth a try.
And
moving on up, so that's good.
Well, when the creek makes a promise, he keeps it. So that's the way it works.
Yes, thank you, Creaky.
But anyway, and hopefully, if you guys any of you out there that have not signed the petition, please do so. You just have to enter your name and your email address, and then you're good to go. I think you can specify that if you're a little iffy about your name and email being made public, then I think they got a little box you can check that says make this an anonymous a signature or something like to that effect. That way people don't know your name, and they don't they don't know your email address. So but if you haven't signed it, you please sign it. If you want to donate to it, you can support it. You don't have to. You just basically can just sign it, and you've done your job as the Alita Army, as an Alita Army member, that is. But if you want to give some money, that'll help promote it even more, and no amount's too small if you want to. But once again, you do not have to give money for this. If you want to sign it, all you got to do is enter your name and your email, and you're good to go. So. But you can see there we got 178,258. So we're chugging right along. I think somebody told me between us and the Snyder Cut, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Charlie Smith that might have said something about this. I can't remember, but I think no other fandom, in terms of the number of signatures, is even close to the Snyder Cut folks and us. I think the next closest one is down around 10,000 or something like that. So this is a pretty big deal right here, and we're still moving along. If we can have some more successful weeks, we'll get to that 200,000, that's for sure, And we got the Alita Gaming Network going on, in which Svendrik and I were talking about briefly before the stream started, but we got some cool stuff on there. You see the link just below our little mascot there, or Alita chibi that, you know, if you click on that, I believe you get an invite or you can join. Now, if somebody else has grabbed that link, because I think it only works once, and I think it's only good for 7 days. Well, I know it's only good for 7 days, but it only works once. But if you want to join and somebody else has already grabbed that link, in other words, if you'll know that when you click on it, it just takes you to Discord. It doesn't take you to the channel. So if that's the case, just shoot me a DM on Discord and I will send you an invite from there, you know. But if anybody wants to join, you know, there's the first link, the initial link, and we do all kinds of cool stuff on there. You can upload your own Alita related materials. You know, if you are an artist, you can definitely put, you know, some of your work in user creations. If you're doing live streaming, even, I think Odd John Hoots told me he was going to do a live stream once. I mean, put your link in there. That's okay. You know, we want the Alita Army to you know, to know when some of us, not just the Creek and not just Radio Chaos, we want them to know, you know, that, hey, we got some other folks in the Alita Army that are really doing, you know, great work on streaming.
Yeah,
or
I made a
videos
tweet
or whatever.
earlier that was saying I was going to stream the Cloudpunk game.
Cool. Well, you can do that in the watch party. You know, you can do that there, I think, is the best place to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where, as long as you're in the server.
Well, the reason that watch parties is better than the others because it's a voice channel, so you can, you know, you can kind of talk
we
to
just
the
go in the
folks.
gaming one, which is also a voice channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. The voice. Yeah. The lobby and the voice and the gaming channels.
All
are
of those
also
are voice channels.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can talk over the movie, and then of course, you know, you don't want to you don't want to go overboard with that because some folks, well, guess who just showed up?
Hey,
Good day, mate.
Fashionably late as ever.
Or
It
okay,
pays
and
off
good
to
day.
pays to be in the future because
Yes,
we
it
get
does.
Alita
jealous.
because we
Because
get
when you're-
Alita on Netflix a lot earlier.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where did I saw that Alita was going to be on Netflix?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Netflix on the UK, and I guess Angelus, you checked, and it's coming to Australia too. I wonder what other countries it's coming to.
I'll have to check to see if it's on if it's on
American.
Netflix here. Yeah,
Go on, yeah, check.
yeah. So anyway, I'll do that after the stream, I guess. But yeah, you know,
I can just hear.
cool.
I can just hear bloody now. No, do it now.
No,
I was tempted.
Yeah.
Like, come on, just check now.
No, we're gonna wait till after.
I don't know how you get to that new and hot page for Netflix, but I've only seen screenshots from
It's
Angelus
technically
and
the
Ethan.
it's the first thing I did.
Is what? What'd you do, Angelus?
Yeah, it always leaves us on suspense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What did he do?
Loaded up Netflix and checked it out.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, a Creek will check it out, and if that is the case, it'll be on Netflix for a while. Next weekend, next Friday, I'll put it in the presentation, you know, so folks can.
I'll be putting it on repeat.
Yes, indeed. So
Get Alita up on the first place in top 10.
yeah, and from Smendrick, we got a heartfelt welcome to everybody in the chat. And then, of course, Finn says hi.
Hey, Finn.
Yeah, that's
Guten
pretty
Tag.
cool. Yeah. I don't think they say Guten Tag that often down in Switzerland. Yeah.
Yeah, not at this time.
Yeah, that's right.
No.
They might,
It's midnight here, around midnight. So, yeah, I don't know.
And when you say Guten Abend, I guess it means you're about to go to bed
it's a very long time before
yeah, that's right. You
midnight.
know,
There is no word for
All right, Finn, if you want to come on the stream now, you just do it. The link is up there. Just come on the stream. I mean, we're not going to bite, or at least if we do, we won't bite hard anyway. So anyway, yeah, if you want to join the Alita Gaming channel, do that. We have a lot of fun on this channel. And basically what we're also going to do is on, I think, Monday, and I haven't come up with a date yet because I got a kind of a appointment I got to do on Monday, but we'll get there. It might be earlier in the day here in the US because of my appointment, but basically, I want to play Ghost in the Shell, the movie, but I don't have it, so I got to figure out how to get it. So and it's very difficult to stream from a platform like YouTube or something. First of all, they don't like you doing that, so you can't do that. But but we'll stream, we'll play something.
Isn't it basically illegal?
Well, if it's a public channel, this is more of a private thing just for us, so it's not illegal.
Yeah, of course, nobody's going to care.
Yeah. So anyway, but if you want to see a movie, if you do want to see one, and guess what? Lee just showed up. So Lee down there in
hello.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hello,
That's all right. Down there in Fountain, Colorado. He's about 60-70 miles south of the creek. So you're actually south of Colorado Springs too, aren't you, Lee? I think it's basically, yeah,
about 16 miles south of Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so you're more like 75 miles south from my house then, but that's okay. We're practically neighbors. So but anyway, if you want to see a movie, you get your watch party going there or something like that, then just you can shoot me a DM, or during the stream now you can put it in the chat. I'll make a note of it, and we will see what we can do. I guess the last movie, what was the last movie we did? We did Alita, the last movie. Oh, it was Rollerball is what it was. Yeah, that's right.
Rollerball, yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of loosely somewhat similar to Motorball, in some ways, So I think in Motorball, you got to carry the ball past the line to get a point. But in Rollerball, you have to put it in a goal, kind of like what they were doing in Street Motorball, Badman says, isn't Fountain, Colorado at the doorstep of the Granite Inn? I don't know about that, Lee. What is it?
I'm trying to remember. I think NORAD is fairly close to the Springs. Yeah.
Well, Cheyenne Mountain is. Yeah, it's in Manitou Springs, I think, isn't it? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in Cheyenne Mountain when I worked for DOD, and it's a top secret place. But everybody knows it's there. It's no big deal, So you just can't get on. That's the only thing, unless you work for the government. You got a clearance, But anyway, that's another story. And I don't want to digress anymore, and I have. Another thing, the Creek is fast approaching 200,000 subs. This is why I know we can get the petition up to 200,000. So because I'm up close to I think I got 197,000 and change, something like that. And we're going to keep going because I want to promote. And as you'll see on my channel, if any of you go to the channel, you'll see right under the screen there, it says I promote Alita and Rosa Salazar positively and passionately and positively, I think is what the little phrase is there. And that was kind of what we had in that one video that we did about 2 or 3 years ago, that we said that we supported Alita and Rosa, passionately and positively. So I guess probably sometime next month, I'll probably hit 200,000. That'd be my guess, so probably early next month would be what I think it's going to come up. But anyway, that means more eyeballs on Alita, more people seeing, the content and stuff like that. And as you can see there below, I also feature other channels. You know, I mean, for instance, the Alita Army channel is right there on the far left, and then of course Turlo Dorman's channel is there, and so is Chaos Nova's. And you see Kran's there, and then there's another one there that's a guy called Culture Casino. He's a pretty cool guy. He does a stream damn near every day, which is something which I don't know how he does it, but he does. But there are other channels. You can kind of scroll past that, and you'll see some other channels. Like I'm featuring Odd John Hoot's channel and Miss Lee's channel and some of that too. So in other words, that's another way you can click on other Alita Army members' channels and see what they do. You know, now I think, of course, Radio Chaos and that's the Alita Army channel, and Turlo Dorman's Alita Army channel, they are dedicated to Alita. Chaos Nova does a lot of Alita, but that's not all he does. And certainly Kran does some, she does a lot of artwork, of course, and she plays games on there, but she also does some Alita content, you know, from time to time, but she does other things beside that. In Culture Casino, he's in the Alita Army. Now, he doesn't do any specific Alita content, but he has said several times, and I've been in the chat on his stream, that, you know, he sees my handle out there in the chat, and he says, "Oh, Creek Indians out there, you know, and I'm in the Alita Army too." So that's pretty good, you know. So anyway, he's a good guy. But anyway, you can check out all these other channels in addition to the Creeks channel. So that way we get more eyeballs on Alita and Rosa content, and people become more aware, you know, of the movie. Hopefully that's the goal anyway. So any thoughts, you guys?
No.
Nothing comes to mind.
All righty then.
The real celebration is when it hits 199.
Exactly.
Be 100,000 more. It'd be 100,000 more than Alita's number of. Well, it'd be more than that, wouldn't it? It'd be, her number's 99, so it'd be 99,000 and whatever. I guess who?
Maxine.
Gru Scott Finn Vigatus Dio Hoita.
Oh.
Oh, hello all.
Yeah.
Hey Finn, I was trying to. I've just did the zoom in on Finn's profile picture, his avatar. I was like, oh, it's Avatar Alita. Of course it is.
The Alita avatar.
Yeah.
There it is. There's Finn. Finn doesn't.
98
he doesn't
make
look,
this.
He doesn't look anything like that, though.
Yeah, that's me.
Tapion made it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Tapion. Yes.
Yeah,
He
what a
makes
legend.
It's a legend. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Finn and I are also Facebook friends, so that works out. Well, so is Ed Ellis and I. We're also Facebook friends, so you know, that's the way it goes with multiple contacts with the Elite Army. Okay, guys, I guess we can move on. I guess so. What I want to cover today, and we did a stream somewhat about like this late last year, but it was more of a stream of comparing Panzerkunst to other martial arts, and we'll probably do a little bit of that here, but I kind of wanted to concentrate on just Alita's martial arts. In other words, Panzerkunst itself. Now, one of the things about this is that the reason why I think that the movie was so successful in portraying Panzerkunst as an established martial arts. I mean, it's Angelus, I can hear you breathing. The reason why it was so successful is because Rosa took the part extremely seriously, and she trained for this. I mean, she did. I think she did some Muay Thai, and she did some karate, and you know, some of this stuff. Kickboxing, I think she did some of that. We're going to see a video on that too, by the way. And you know, the thought was for her was that you know, she told an interviewer that she didn't want to look good, you know, doing this. She wanted to be good, is what she wanted. So she trained for 5 months, I think, you know, doing martial arts training, among other things. I mean, she also learned how to, I guess, to roller skate, I guess, or roller blade, or I think it was blades, I think. so she kind of worked at that too, and she got in shape. I mean, I think one of the things she told one interviewer that she was basically a croissant when she got when she got the role of Alita. But she really took it serious, and just wanted to just make sure, that that she basically is going to be the epitome, of Alita herself, because Alita is a warrior. I mean, she's she's someone who's got extraordinary abilities. I mean, and as I've said on other streams, Alita's abilities are superhuman or superhero-esque. Now, she's not a superhero, but her abilities are at that level, and she's definitely got that kind of capability as a cyborg herself. We're also going to talk a little bit about Panzerkunst itself, but we are going to really concentrate not so much on the bar fight, because that's kind of more of a brawl type thing. Although she did use some techniques in that for sure, But we're going to look at a couple of maybe 3 videos, of what we would consider Panzerkunst. Now, Panzerkunst is a fictitious martial art. But in the manga, of course, Panzerkunst was a martial art developed specifically for cyborgs, and even more specifically for the cyborgs, themselves, because some of the techniques, when they execute them against other cyborgs, a human couldn't do it. I mean, for instance, you'll see one video where when she cleaves off Gurwishka's arm when she does an axe kick. Now, the axe kick itself, there's nothing special about it in terms of being limited or unique to Panzerkunst, but the ability to cut his arm off like she did with that axe kick, a human being can't do that just with an axe kick, because they're made of flesh and blood. So, but we're going to get to that.
But it was the power of the mind that did that.
Well, exactly. Well, and they would teach you, and Angelus, you can maybe step in here just a little bit too.
Mark, it involves something more powerful than that.
Yeah, that's right.
Science and engineering, because it's using the momentum of the circular motion.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's and the fact that it is that she is technology herself. She's 98% technology. I mean, that speaks to the engineering part of it as well. And of course her, even in her doll body, she's going to be much, much too much to handle for humans. Even the most skilled human fighter could not take her out, because of her speed, her power, and that kind of stuff, But to your point, Vladi, when you said it was a power of the mind, martial arts, or at least the martial arts I'm familiar with, do stress, the mind in terms of, what kind of attitude, I guess you could say, or discipline is a better word, that you need to retain to be able to do this. In other words, when you're fighting, when you're fighting someone, it's not just, if they're bigger than you, you say, oh my gosh, he's bigger than me. That's not the point. You kind of observe the individual and you see where those weak spots are, and you react to whatever, attack they may have, or if you're going to attack them in a certain way, like maybe a counterattack or something, then you have a technique, and it's all mind. Mind over matter, basically, is the kind of the philosophy, sort of, And of course, we all know from ancient Chinese and Japanese and Okinawan and stuff like that, philosophies, this is kind of what they stress when their students are learning, kung fu or karate, and of course, another one that was not up there would be jujitsu, would be another one, but we don't have that on here. Is that, the power of the mind is what drives you to do these techniques. Also, another thing that they also teach, at least in a lot of Chinese styles, and I think in Japanese too, is something called qi, which is in Chinese, and ki, which is in Japanese. But you can think of it almost as like the force of your life being able to execute these techniques in such a way that gives them extra power, you know, and extra speed. So anyway, did I miss anything, Angelus, or is that kind of close to it, or what? And I think you're muted.
No.
Oh, okay.
Found it. All right.
Ah.
All right. So traditionally, you have to really throw it up there and then bring it back down.
Mm.
But Alita was using the circular
MMA.
momentum and gravity to not only use this force of the spin, the force generated by the spin, but also gravity bringing that spinning motion down on Gruishka's shoulder.
See that
Up and down.
That axe kick
Smack.
knocked him out. That knocked him out. I
Yep.
mean, yeah.
Impressive.
Well, he wouldn't be able to say take the guy's arm off for that kick.
This kick is heavy.
Yeah. Now he could
No.
break his. Yeah, he could break bones with it. That's for sure. You know, but a
You
human
can
bone's
split
not
him in
like.
half down the middle with that one kick.
Well,
Alita could.
Alita could, not him. So, but anyway, but that's a, you know, and in Alita's case, of course, she was doing like a improvised flying axe kick, where, like Angela said, she was using not just the power of her kick, but also the force of gravity was augmenting the power, you know. So, and to pull that off, it's a timing thing as well. You know, I mean, you're falling at a certain speed, you know, 9.8 meters per second squared, or say 32 feet per second squared. You know, I mean, she jumped from a high location, you know, I mean, he has to time it perfectly to hit him on his shoulder, you know, to take his arm off, you know, basically. But in Chinese philosophy, what they say is that now this is ancient philosophy, so you can take it for what it's worth. But I know that there are some kung fu instructors that believe that when you punch, if you really execute the technique correctly, or whatever or to give it the maximum effect, that you project your chi, you know, extended past the punch. Now, I don't know about that, you know, but the idea here is that with your mind, you can give your punch or your kick more force, you know, by doing that, you know. So that's basically it, I think. But one of the things about Panzerkunst that makes it, and I got some slides coming up that, of course, I do. What makes it look so realistic is that they are using in the movie for Panzerkunst that some of the techniques in kung fu and karate that are basically they're the same techniques that you would see in other styles, and that's not unusual even amongst real martial arts styles. For instance, a front kick is a front kick in any style. You know, they may have a little nuance difference about how to deliver it or what to do, but it's basically a front kick. If you punch somebody, a punch is a punch. You know, I mean, that's just the way things are, because, you know, humans just have a limited number of appendages, and, you know, there's only so many ways you can do it. Some styles will teach some of the techniques, others won't. But it's not unusual for, like, for instance, in the style of karate that I took many years ago, we did not use a roundhouse kick. And it wasn't until I went to a tournament that I discovered what a roundhouse kick was. You're sparring with somebody and they hit you with a roundhouse kick and you go, whoa, what was that? You know, that kind of thing, you know. So you kind of learn, you know, just from experience on it. But some techniques or some styles will have some techniques that others won't, or they'll have some in common. Some styles would be a more hard-oriented style, like karate, or taekwondo would be another one, or tong sudo mudok kwan would be another one. So, you know, they all have somewhat similar style techniques, and some that are not in that particular other styles. So it just depends on the style. Another thing I know my instructor taught us was it's not so much the style itself that's better than other styles. I mean, certainly there are styles that are inherently better than others, but really what really drives I guess the ability of the karateka or the practitioner of whoever that style is how, you know, how devoted they are to it, how hard they train, you know, how, you know, just how serious they take it and how well they develop their techniques over others, other individuals. That can also, you know, that would also drive, you know, how good a practitioner is. So in other words, it's not automatic that a Kung Fu master is going to always beat a karate master. It just depends who's better, you know, who trains harder, you know, and who, you know, I guess is more dedicated to it, you know, and their experience and all that kind of thing that works out with it. And of course, with karate, well, even with Kung Fu, there's, you know, there's many different styles within each of those. I mean, even Tai Chi is a Kung Fu style. Now, it's usually used for, you know, kind of well-being and health and stuff like that, and balance and that kind of thing. But I do know the master of the style of the karate style I was in. He was a Tai Chi master himself. And he could use those techniques in a fight, you know, I mean, because I've sparred against him, you know, and I could not hit him or kick him. I mean, he blocked everything I threw, and he actually just pretty much could, we were sparring, we weren't really fighting, but he pretty much could do anything with me he wanted. And I was a first-degree black belt. So, I mean, you know, that kind of thing. Karate's the same way. You know, there's a lot of different styles of karate. You know, certainly Shotokan's one, Kyokushin karate's another, Kenpo is another, and they all have slightly different techniques, but they all have techniques that are also in common. They have different philosophies behind fighting themselves, but you know, they're all geared toward teaching the individual how to defend themselves. You know, now another thing we're also going to talk about is weapons, because Alita is not just someone who can fight with her fists and feet. You know, I mean, she's an expert with weapons. You know,
she can make anything a weapon.
Well, I mean, in terms of what her body does, I mean, her hands and feet, of course, are that of yeah, they're more, you know, it's technology. I mean, it's going to be more, I guess, how would you say, if you got hit with a baseball bat as an example, or a cricket bat.
But it's like the mental capacity to think of every single item as a weapon, which like makes her unique as well. Like she'll whip up a jacket and like use it in the bar fight.
Yeah, she did.
She'll like throw the motor ball.
She is a weapon.
Exactly. Her whole body
is a weapon
to have.
Well, karate and kung fu styles also kind of give you that kind of philosophy too, that you are a weapon. Your hands and your feet are weapons, you know, that you can use. Now, the difference is that with Alita, you know, her being a cyborg, at least in the movie, and of course in the Last Order, she's an android. The material she's made of is going to be much more resistant to any kind of damage when she hits you. So she could hit you or kick you with much more force than a human can do. You know, that's why, for instance, she could take off Gerwishka's arm as an example with an axe kick. Now, you saw that video that Angelus put up there. Yeah, that guy knocked out that other guy with an axe kick, you know, but he didn't knock his head off, did he? And he probably couldn't, you know. Alita probably could, you know. I mean, now granted, Alita is a fictitious character, but you know, if she was real and she fought a human, I mean, she could literally just destroy them physically, you know, not just knock them out. I mean, she could basically.
Yeah, I'm just picturing that guy's head flying off if it was Alita kicking him instead of that wrestler.
Well, she could do a roundhouse kick on somebody and knock their head off. You know, I mean, basically she could do that because she could kick with such force.
So easy for her. She just kicks people's heads off and he just bungs them straight in her Hunter Warrior bag.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to like cut up the bodies.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and that's because of what material she's made of is much more force resistant, you know, to being. And if you hit her as an example, she's going to be much more resistant, being able to take on a lot more power. If you hit her like you punched her, it wouldn't have the same effect that if you punch somebody else, a human, you know. It would be very, very difficult to knock her out, I think, you know, because for the material she's made of, plus she's so fast, you know, that axe kick that guy, in theory, granted, now once again, Alita's a fictional character, but if she was fighting that guy and he hit her with an axe kick like that, it probably wouldn't have any effect on her, you know, and she might say something like, "Oh, good technique," but that would be it. You know, it wouldn't phase her in any way. But if she hit him with an axe kick, she could kill him, you know, easily. You know. So anyway, that's the whole thing. Strong. Well, that's the thing about Panzerkunst. You see, it's a martial art in the movie and in the manga and anime. It's a martial art that is specifically designed for cyborgs.
Unstoppable. Okay. How do you stop a cyborg trained in Panzerkunst? You just can't.
You can't. I mean, the best martial artists on earth, if Alita was real, could not take her out. Couldn't do it. They just don't have the power behind them. You know,
there'd be heads flying everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's even in her doll body, she's going to be much, much too much for the average human fighter or a master, the best human fighter, you know, because of speed and power, you know, that her body gives her the power for sure, but it also her I guess her antimatter microreactor heart gives her, you know, kind of a resilience, if you want to think of it as that, or endurance. I mean, she could live.
Oh, hello.
Oh, don't tell me he's muted.
He cut off so suddenly that there was even like a cutting noise.
Ooh, like maybe he was and
he's gone.
It can't be his internet because he's the one hosting. Although if he goes, then no one can.
I don't know. He's gone before, and the stream just carried on. How does that work? Is it magic?
I think it just means he didn't get completely dropped. He just sort of faded out, kind of.
Oh, is it still like hosted on StreamYard or whatever we're using?
Yeah.
The magic of Panzerkunst.
Exactly.
Yes. Magic
sent you a.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the ways you could stop a cyborg with Panzerkunst, get another cyborg with Panzerkunst.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, now we have lost him totally.
Yep, there he goes.
Bloody might
I think he coming back.
like what I sent to him in
Quickie
DM.
coming every time back.
What did you say?
You might like what I sent you in DMs. DMs.
Hopefully it's...
Quickie
I know what
is
you're
not the
normally
host
sending.
from
Better be something
stream.
appropriate, Angelus.
It's appropriate.
Maybe it's part
Never
of
know with Australians.
Panzerkunst to be invisible for the enemies, for your opponent.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
And now he's coming from the back.
Hopefully he'll be back soon.
I think he need a few minutes. I think so.
He should have just showed this picture on the stream.
I just couldn't find it on my PC. So
to me.
I was basically couldn't find it on my PC, but I knew I had it on my phone, so I basically posted in DM, access to DM and load it up.
Yeah, that's useful. You know, you can actually DM yourself if you like. You can just do it.
Quickie must say like Terminator, I'll be back.
You better be.
Although I can do it this way instead, if I.
Because I don't know enough about martial artists to carry this stream.
I certainly don't.
I do.
Angelus will have to fill in.
Yeah, I saw that. That was pretty...
Oh, is that how you're showing it? Can you not share your screen or something?
I can, but Creaky has to approve it because he's the showrunner.
This looks interesting.
And there's no Creaky here. Blasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's nice.
Alita in the UFC.
Can we blow it up a bit? Such bad quality, it's killing me, honestly.
No, I can't. I mean, the best I can do
is
maybe
see her face.
Yeah,
I
like
can see her eyebrows and the lines in her eyes.
It's just so bad, but yeah, she looks badass if you could actually see her face. There you go, a bit better. It's just so small.
Yeah,
so
no,
cheap.
it's a
How is this
bit
2024? This is how we're showing images.
But like I said, it's the best way that I can sort of show. And Creaky's back on.
Oh, hello,
back with Angelus' forehead.
There we go, and there's that one.
Is he back? Does he need a few minutes to reboot his programming? Creek, are you with us?
Welcome back, Master.
Yeah, my internet's crap, guys.
Yeah, what is going on? Mine is too. Is the government doing this to us?
I hope not.
Mine keeps cutting off as well. It's so frustrating. And I've got no mobile signal here, so I'm doubly screwed.
Yeah, no.
Now it's better, yes.
Nice. Who made this again? It would be cool if she had a cyborg body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like the first leader that she made the clone of before she left for Mars.
Yeah.
For Figure 4.
Yes, UFC. Nice.
Figure 4.
Ultimate fighting cyborgs.
Yes. Oh God, yes.
Well, I think the thing of it is, though, I mean, she would be a formidable opponent even in a human body because she'd still know the techniques, you know.
Oh yeah.
But she would not have the advantage of having a cyborg body, which would have a bad man shot and flown. Yes. Anyway. But anyway, I guess you know, with Alita, I think I was talking about how she would you know, having that cyborg body gives her an advantage. So she has an advantage of Panzerkunst, you know, having you know, similar kinds of fighting style advantages over just people that aren't trained, like say a karateka or someone who's trained in kung fu. But she would have the additional advantage of having a body that would be very force resistant, you know, to any kind of damage if she delivered a technique. You know, for instance, if you punch somebody, now I saw her do this in the Kansas bar, you know, in the movie. She actually hit Zapan with a palm strike, you know, but she didn't have to, you know. The palm strike gave her more force. She broke his nose with it, if you remember. But her fist, you know, is made out of material that could take a lot more, I guess, force, you know, when she hits somebody, that when she hits them in the face, you know, she could literally cave your face in with her fist, you know. But, you know, with humans, if a human hits somebody in the face with a fist, they run the risk, unless they hit that person in the jaw or something correctly, then they could break their hand, you know. But a cyborg's not going to do that. The same thing would be true with a kick. Let's say if she did a roundhouse kick, you know, on someone, and that was not delivered correctly, or the angle was off slightly or something, a human could actually hurt themselves doing that. But with her, you know, her legs and feet are made of material that is force resistant, not flesh and blood, you know. So that kind of gives her an extra advantage over any in her cyborg bodies. That gives her an extra advantage over humans that they can't overcome. Now, this is in her doll body. in her berserker body, she basically, you know, I mean, she has the additional advantage there, a plasma weapon, you know. So,
well, even without that, the amount of speed and strength the berserker body possesses is much higher than the doll body.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's going to amplify her damage quite a bit, even without the plasma field. Then you add
Yeah.
the plasma field on top of that, and it's just that much worse.
Yeah. I mean, even a glancing blow, if Alita hit a human with a glancing blow, she could kill them easily, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing about it too, I think one time I calculated her reflex speed, you know, to be like anywhere from 4 to 10 milliseconds. You know, that is a bunch of times faster than a human being. A human being basically has an average reaction time of around 215 milliseconds. A really fast human being might have a reaction time of 100 milliseconds. But her, with having a reaction time between 4 and 10 milliseconds, she's going to be something like 10 to 25 times faster than the fastest human reaction, you know. And that also equates to her speed. The amount of force she can hit you with, is particularly in a berserker body, is that she is so much faster, you know, in terms of how fast she can throw her fist, let's say, or how fast she can kick.
Yeah, there was a show that studied the limits of human capability in relation to some of the superhero shows. They did a measurement of the speed and force of impact of one of the better MMA fighters. I think he was an MMA fighter. Might have just been a martial artist, but they measured him hitting the torso of another human being was the equivalent of a 30-mile-per-hour impact. So yeah, then you add 10 to 25 times faster than the average human on top of that.
Yeah. Plus the material she's made out of is going to be more force.
Yeah, she's going to fold somebody like an origami
yeah, I mean, it's
swan or something.
Well, she could probably,
Finn has a
hold them like a pretzel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finn left a question here.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, okay.
Let me.
Can all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, Finn.
Oh, I'm a little quiet.
That's all right.
No, you sound fine.
Oh, okay, okay. Thanks.
What's your question there, Finn?
Oh, he was just asking if we could hear him.
Yeah. Oh, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you fine. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that was my question. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, that's
all good. Thank you.
Alles klar. Alles klar. But anyway, yeah, we can. Yeah, basically, you can see the advantages that Alita has in Panzerkunst that other trained martial artists don't have. You know, in just her body alone, particularly that berserker body, but even the doll body, she's going to have advantages on them that they cannot overcome. I don't care how good they are at their style, you know. And of course, Panzerkunst being specifically designed for cyborgs, that's going to make her extremely difficult, you know. Well, not extremely difficult. To me, if anybody fights Alita, they might have one chance in a million of maybe beating her, you know, but that would be, I'm being, I guess you would say, you know, optimistic about that. They probably wouldn't have that big a
I'd say you're being generous with their chances.
Yes. I mean, you know, it's just, it's plus her training and the military and all that. She's going to be, well, there's just no comparison. You just can't do it. You know, I mean, she's got too much going for her. Plus, her martial art is specifically designed for cyborgs. You know, to take advantage of the technology that they are in and that kind of thing.
What I think, especially to the doll body, I think she overestimated the material specifications of her doll body.
What you mean when she was fighting Gorishka, you mean?
Yeah, for example, yeah. I don't know, or I'm not sure if she is recognizing the limitations of the material, of the flexibility of her doll body fast enough in a fight, or whenever she needs it. So that's an interesting point. How fast can she apply to a new body? Maybe Imaginus or other bodies.
Well, I do know with the Berserker body, remember she told Hugo that Berserker body she felt more me, is what she said. So it tells me that, you know, when she got put in the doll body, that was another person's body, and she probably wasn't totally familiar with it. You know, I mean, she probably not, you know, she could use her hands and could walk and stuff like that, and she could execute the techniques, you know, for sure. But she really didn't know in a very, you know, I guess, basal kind of understanding of what her body was capable of doing, you know, probably. That Berserker body, you know, she was certainly in that body at one point, you know, when she was in the military. She knows exactly what that body's capabilities are and what its limitations are. So I guess I would say that she probably, you know, she probably was thinking in terms of being in her Berserker body when she was in the doll body, and overestimating her ability to fight Gruishka, you know, in the underworld, you know. So that's my take on it. How's it going, Chaos Nova?
Well enough.
Cool. I'm going to put Chaos's link here in the
preview,
chat.
But yeah, when I get more recording time,
I'll
do the whole.
But hello, Chaos.
Okay, yeah. There it is, right there. Did you put that in the gaming server?
Oh, not yet. I'll do that though.
Yeah, that way people can see it over there as well, you know. Okay, but anyway, since the Creek's internet problems notwithstanding, that just really irritates me. As you guys
need to get
can
onto your ISP or whatever it is.
I'm not sure it's them. I don't know if it's something in my Windows 11 setup or.
Sometimes I need to reset my router. I've had to do that twice this week.
Well, I've reset my router and it doesn't seem to have an effect, you know, but
should just work.
Yeah. I mean,
it's pissing me off that my one's been dropping off. I can't wait to move back to my old provider. More expensive, but this one sucks.
Well, what I suspected is on Windows 11, and I have no proof of this whatsoever, but my suspicion is that there are some probably transient routines running in the background, you know, on Windows 11. But when a certain, I guess, system situation or something comes up, and it grabs the CPU, and it preempts all other executing programs, you know, just so it can run its thing, whatever it is, you know, and that right there is not good. That's what I think it's doing, and it could be too that it's doing that, and the drivers are doing it too for the internet. But I don't know where. I have to keep playing with it. So
Microsoft seems to have some props, especially with the latest updates for Windows 11.
Yeah.
And if you do not strictly configure your network settings to
I did that. I did all that.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. Now, I don't have this problem on Windows 10. You know, I mean, I got another computer.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to start. Well, I'm probably going to start doing these streams on the other system, because I mean, this is not sat for me to be doing this and then all of a sudden it freezes.
Yeah,
you know,
I've literally gone back to Windows 10 if I can help it.
Yeah.
I've had too
Yeah,
many
but
bugs
we
this
all
year.
have to remember that Windows 10 will be
Yeah, it's
out
going
of
to be.
support
Yeah.
in autumn next year.
Yeah.
And that could be difficult if we use public network infrastructures, such
Yeah.
as YouTube and whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
So we have to
Yep.
get familiar with Windows 11, and for sure we have or we just can hope that we get better updates for this.
Well, maybe I can start running on Linux or Unix, and maybe I can start doing that as well.
Yeah, I'm testing this in the background.
Yeah.
Just
for
try a different
example,
computer though, so you can compare.
Yeah.
If it disconnects on that, then you know that it's obviously you need to contact your ISP.
Yeah, what I did for years now is using virtual machines, if you know what it is.
Well, I have VMware on my system, so maybe I can use that.
Yeah. For example, or virtual box for you other guys. Test whatever you like. There are several distributions of Linux-based systems, Debian or Red Hat or whatever you like, Fedora, or I use Open.
Ubuntu is another one, I guess.
Yeah. Test it, and then let's move it to your hardware system.
Anyway, let's get back to Alita, I guess. So anyway, that's I agree with you though, Smendrick. This I rue the day that I upgraded.
What I have to add here to my point of how fast can she or will she be able to get familiar with a new body or the limitations of a new body. I hope they will show us more details in the sequels. How's your training? Her training. How looks? Who trains her?
We're going to get
on
to
a
that.
new body, or does she learning by doing? Or I don't understand it really, and I don't. I'm not so close to the manga. Does anyone know this?
Well, I was suspecting that any humanoid body is designed to be used automatically by the human brain at least a basic level.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's just a matter of familiar. Well, they would have to be, considering how they've been using them.
Well, she did that really with the doll body, didn't she? I mean, she wasn't familiar with that at all.
Once they get you put into a cyber core, the cyber core seems to have all your life support systems and some processors and whatnot in it that interface with the systems of whatever body you're plugged into. So they basically can unplug you from one body and plug you into another. But there does seem to be some difficulty with her because of her technology.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's move on here because really what I want to talk about first before we get into the actual martial arts is why the movie was so, I guess, realistic, from the martial arts standpoint. Because Rosa wanted to be good at martial arts. That's why it turned out so well. She didn't rely on a stunt person to do every single thing that she had to do in martial arts. She trained hard for this, And now, granted, she trained for 5 months. 5 months, I guess, I think is what it was. And
it's a long time.
It is, you know. But now I know when I was in martial arts, it was years. You know, I mean, it was 2 years before I got my black belt. You know, and that was with me training very. I guess I was, I almost to the point of being eccentric about it, you know, training all the time, you know, basically every
3
day.
years.
Yeah, or else it would have been longer than that, you know. But you know, it amazes me very much so that Rosa could do as well as she did in the movie with just 5 months of training. 5 months, it could have been 6, could have been 4. I don't know how much for sure, but my gut feeling was it was 5 months. And I think that's what I read somewhere or heard on a video or something. But the fact with such little training, and now to her, it didn't seem little because she had to do the training. But what I'm saying is, you know, the formal training for a lot of the stuff she's doing and her ability to pull it off with some people takes years, you know, for them to be able to do that. Now, she was very focused on specific techniques, but, you know, I think that her dedication to be able to do this, to be able to do these techniques is well, first of all, it's not surprising to me because having seen her in that play and her memorizing all them lines and being able to deliver them naturally like she did, it doesn't surprise me that she was able to take on this martial arts training and be very proficient at it with just 5 months of training. That to me is, it doesn't surprise me that she was able to do that. So, but anyway, let me play I want to play a clip here of her training, and you'll see some of the techniques that she's doing. And she doesn't just train with you know, just hand punching with hands, kicking with her feet and whatever. She also did some training with the bow, and we'll see that coming up.
With bow? Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice. a staff basically.
Yes,
that's what they call it in
She make it very good.
Yes.
And this is what would have happened if Creaky didn't behave himself at Pasadena Playhouse.
Yes, that's exactly what would have happened.
In 4K slow-mo.
Yeah, I tell you, that is awesome.
You managed to avoid that right in the balls.
That was awesome. She is awesome at this. I mean, a spinning, jumping back kick. I mean, Jesus, you know, I mean, there are guys that train for 2 or 3 years that can't do this, you know, and here she is. I mean, she is really, well, she's phenomenal, you know, basically, but
it's not so easy.
No.
Well, this requires more coordination in the sense that I can do this when I have my foot pivot directly on the ground, because then I know exactly like where my body is positioned in relation to my foot. So I know exactly when to start throwing out the kick, when to actually put force behind it so I can kick through the target. But she did it in midair, so that there's no grounded reference point or no fulcrum, if you will.
And did a jumping out, doing a jumping outward crescent kick like she did too, you know. Now this is a kung fu form here called the Southern Fist. So look at this.
And
holy shit.
Hapkido.
Holy shit. This would have also happened to Creaky if he hadn't behaved himself.
That would have encouraged. This has probably encouraged me to not misbehave.
Exactly. Now here she is with the bow. I'm gonna play this video again so we you know, kind of see, because you got to see it kind of 2 or 3. Look at this. Damn, girl.
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think this is the one where she said she actually broke the bow staff on her instructor's face.
Well, not his face, but his the bow he has there.
Well, a piece of it came off and seemed to hit him in the face.
Oh yeah,
there
that's
you go.
right.
Just
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Just did.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. I like this.
Yeah, here we go. Now look at this right here. This right here is amazing.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah. That's green belt or brown belt actually level stuff right there.
And her punch have really power.
Now I could do a spinning back kick like this, but it took. Now I didn't really start training on it for about a year, but after that, but it took me a while to learn this because this is not easy right here. You know, this is
definitely not easy. No.
And see what makes it, you know, even more difficult is her jumping up in the air like that. You know,
then
I mean,
you must have power from this kick.
Yes.
I have another question to you all guys. Is there also a difference between the real fighting training and what you can use or allowed to use on the set?
You'd have to ask. Yeah, you'd have to ask a director or choreographer that. But,
Yeah, I would imagine so, because usually the fights in a movie are pretty well choreographed.
Yeah.
Here you see, it looks like she hits the guy.
Yeah.
But you need much more control to stop the hit in the moment you interact with another actor or actress.
Yeah, I don't know about choreography and that kind of thing and what they use so much, but I can tell you this about just training with martial arts. You learn a lot of what's called forms, or kata is what it's called in Japanese. Now, a lot of those forms or dances is what we call them in Kenpo. There are techniques there that seem not practical in a fight, you know, but what it does,
it's about conditioning yourself to be more easily able to do the moves. That's the point.
Well, that's just it. You know, that's exactly what it is, because what it does is when people are learning, you know, how to use or how to execute the techniques, that's what it teaches them. You know, it teaches them how to put these movements together. Now, you really don't learn how to fight until you get in there and start sparring is one level of fighting. And then, of course, when you start doing full contact, then you really learning how to fight. And I also maintain that people don't really know how to fight till you get hit in the face. When you get hit in the face, it kind of makes things real. It makes things real when you do that. You know, I love this bad man. How much martial arts training did they do for Cyrano de Bergerac? They didn't do any, actually. But I will say this, bad man. There was a scene at the beginning, or a part of at the front, where Cyrano de Bergerac has a kind of a sword fight with this guy, you know, and he basically beats him, you know, and he doesn't kill the guy, but he kind of cuts his eye out, you know, and they kind of had fake blood and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. So, but that was the only thing close to martial arts in the whole play, you know. So, but I think you can get an appreciation. We got somebody else here that's trying to Vladi, you got kicked out. I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got kicked out.
I thought I was in actually for ages, but didn't realize I was still waiting in the background.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, you can. I'm gonna play the video one more time just so we can get a real appreciation for this.
I can see this video every time.
Yeah. Well, we got to move on here pretty soon, but this right here, right there, that is
So much
awesome.
power.
That
Yeah,
is
I like
awesome.
this. That is.
And you see that scream she does? That's called a ki, you know, and it kind of helps you deliver more power.
In
Also-
movies, it's more like a dance than a fight,
Yes.
isn't it?
The sidekick
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah, that's a spinning back kick is what it is. A jumping spinning back kick.
Oh, yeah, it's this.
That I mean, there are brown belts that can't do this. I'm serious. There are. And she's doing it. Look at her. I mean, this is just freaking awesome, in my opinion. Angelus, what do you think? This is, I think you said once before you thought this was awesome, didn't you?
That's waifu material right there.
That was a spinning wheel kick, I guess, with that last
Oh, yeah, I
one.
love her expressions as well.
And see,
Oh, we
she's
need
doing
to see her do
this
all
is a
these
back.
fight
This is a
scenes
back fist
in the
right here.
sequels.
Bang. That's a back
A
fist.
back fist.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great to see her shooting all this stuff
Yes.
with all her facial expressions? Just
And that is
without
an
CGI? That'd be
outward
so
crescent
funny.
kick right there. You remember that scene in the bar fight when Ito shows up and she does that outward crescent kick on that guy when he shows up and he looks at her and she just kicks him, you know? That's the same technique right there. Boy, look at her expression. Damn, girl.
The berserker energy flows through her.
Yes.
Don't mess with our queen.
Yeah, our queen.
All right.
Our queen.
Considering that Rosa hasn't, well, once this finishes, I'll, you know, but pay like just attention to like the balance,
She's now
coordination,
done on
that
him.
kind of
Yes.
things. And
Yeah.
when you watch it in the context where, you know, she's had no long-term formal training. Like you can have condensed, intense training,
Yeah.
and your body will remember it because it's conditioned to do so.
Yeah.
But like for someone that's been doing it their like life as a hobby sort of thing, it's a little bit different and more intense and more detailed. So when I share this, what I'm going to be showing is a clip of a stunt actress or a stunt woman that has been doing it for a long time, and she's extremely good. But when you watch her and then you recall what Rosa was capable of, it's not all that far apart either. Like the skill levels don't look too like she looks more refined and like polished off, if you will. But this will still where's that one? Alrighty, so blow this one up. And her name is Amy Johnston.
Okay.
I know it. But it's more show.
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh man, you see that back kick?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So obviously, like she's had a lot more training, and in terms of applying the choreography in this sort of setting. So, like, you know, she'd be able to like come a lot closer. She might even be able to connect and be able to make it look real, but not apply too much power, and stuff like that, which is what you can see here. But when you look at what Rosa was doing, it's not all that far apart. Like,
no,
there is, you can see the difference, but it's very subtle, which means that, you know, the skill level, like you give Rosa another 1 or 2 years, she'd be looking like this. I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly.
Then just so we don't get yeeted.
But this is a really hard training.
Yeah.
And the body's all the eyeballs.
But that spinning back kick, jumping back kick that she did, that thing there, like I was saying, there are brown belts that can't do that. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and our queen is doing it, man. I mean, she is executing it. Boy, that's what is awesome. So anyway, wanted to show you that video just to give you a kind of a flavor of why the movie, the Panzerkunst in the movie, why it looked so effective is because of her. She did this. She trained at this because, as she said in an interview, I didn't want to just look good. I wanted to be good. You know, so that's awesome. You know, that right there is just shows you how dedicated our queen is in her craft as an actress. You know, she's just really let me move on, or else the creek will look like an idiot again. So anyway, but anyway, now getting to the actual martial art of Panzerkunst itself. Now, once again, this is a fictional martial art. It's not real, but in the manga and in the anime and the movie, certainly, it's a martial art that was developed specifically for cyborgs, and in case when she was in the Imaginos body, certainly androids could do it as well, you know, but it's for machine bodies. You know, they specifically designed for them to take advantage, you know, of not learning the techniques, but also the inherent capability of her machine body. Now, in Panzerkunst, excuse me, they had rankings in there, and you could think of this as kind of like rankings in karate, you know, like for instance, and some styles are different than others in terms of how they rank. But, you know, I know in the style I was in, everybody starts out with a white belt, and that's the beginner. And then the next belt up is in the Kenpo style that I was in, not American Kenpo, by the way. Okinawan or Chinese Kenpo is what it was. So anyway, just want to make that distinction right here. But the next belt is purple belt. Now, a purple belt can be a different rank in other styles, but the idea is it's kind of like a hierarchy. So you had purple belt, and then you had blue belt, then you had green belt, then you had brown belt. And then once you got to brown belt, when you start training for your black belt, and it takes you a while to get to the point where you can start training, the instructor has to be convinced, you know, that not only are you serious about it, but that your ability and your technique has progressed to the point where you should be trained as a black belt. Once that happens, then you get a rank called the brown and black belt. And in other words, what that is that you'll have a brown belt on, but you'll have like 3 black stripes on it. Okay. Now you can start out with 1 black stripe, then 2, then 3. Once you get that last stripe on your belt, then you can take the black belt test. And then after that, there are degrees of black belt. Well, you can see the similar thing here. You know, the beginner in Panzerkunst is that's just someone who doesn't know anything about martial arts, but they're learning. And then enthusiast, of course, would be the next step up, apprentice, and so forth. Now, in the case of Panzerkunst, they don't have as many belts as you would think, you know, as you would in a karate style. For instance, to me, and Angelus, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, or say, well, I guess Chaos Nova logged off, didn't he? I didn't see. But anyway,
I have a question.
Sure.
What was is Panzerkunst taught specifically for zero gravity as well, or is that a different?
Well, that's part of it, and we're going to see a video on that. But that is part of their training. Some of the techniques they learn in Panzerkunst is just for zero G fighting. Okay, they learn how to fight in low gravity conditions, but that's not all they learn. You know, they learn how to do regular, almost what you would think of as almost regular martial arts that humans learn. You know, but anyway. In terms of the rankings, and Angelus, maybe you can put your 2 cents in here too. To me, a warrior, which is probably, that's the 5th bullet down. To me, that's like a brown belt. Okay. And the high warrior is a black belt to me. Master would be some, some rating, maybe a 2nd or 3rd degree black belt, let's say. Well, it wouldn't be 2nd or 3rd degree black belt. If you're a master, you'd probably be at least an 8th degree black belt. In some styles, you have black belts have 10 degrees, some have 8. It depends on the style. If it's like Taekwondo, the highest level of belt you can get is a red belt. So it's like a 10th or 10th degree black belt. But so anyway, but the thought is that the high warrior is like a black belt, and they could probably be several, kind of subdivisions there, with the master being, assuming if you wanted to translate this to 10 degrees of black belt, the master would be the 8th degree black belt. The licensed master would be the 9th degree black belt, and the elder would be the 10th degree black belt. That's kind of the analog I see there. What do you think, Angelus? Does that sound reasonable, or you got a little different take?
Just based on the English words used, because the word war is first introduced to the artisan, I'd say war artisan would be the basic black belt. Because then afterwards you go into warrior and high warrior, which is like seasoned veterans compared to soldiers fresh out of boot camp. But both would still be called soldiers. So the war artisan would be the newly trained soldiers, whereas the warriors would be the seasoned veterans.
I see.
And onwards. And then obviously that's where the master would be the lieutenants, whereas the licensed master would be your more majors or colonels, and then the elders would be the generals.
I can see that. Although I would say, to me, a master might be like a E9 sergeant, master sergeant, And
now to translate that into belt rankings, just black belt in general, like when you first hit black belt, that'll be war artisan.
I agree with that then. Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry again for my former question.
Okay.
Yes. As I do not know anything about martial arts training, none of these rankings is ever trained as full body, or is there a ranking from which you start to train full body, full contact?
I would think that the beginner would start training the full content. They're not, they're learning the absolute basics. They're learning
contact, not content.
Full contact.
Full contact is.
I would say apprentice might be. They might start doing some full contact. Wouldn't you say, Angelus, that would be? Like they're sparring. Yeah, they'd be doing full contact probably.
How can you reduce then the risk of being really hurt? Because no insurance would pay for this.
I don't know if they had insurance in the 26th century.
I carried or transformed to our days trainings in martial art. You cannot pay an insurance for a prominent actor or actress if the risk is too high that they are getting hurt too much. Okay, I know about stuntmen and stunt women, but
well, in the case of sparring, when you do full contact, you're not really, when you're just sparring, you're not trying to injure the other person. You are hitting them for sure. It's like I was saying,
hitting, yes.
It's a real hit.
Yeah, it's a real hit. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, many years ago.
Maybe we could go back to the video from her where she punched the guy in the face. Can you do?
Let me see.
The face is not for the beginner. It's not in the face.
You can never have too much of Rosa punching guys in the face.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that.
Yeah,
can we see it again on the red carpet?
And can you explain it?
Well, she's not really hitting him in the face there. This is still a training session here. She's not really sparring with the guy right there. Sparring is more fluid, but
okay, here he
was holding
a pillow or something, but
well, it's not a pillow. It's a
it's a pad.
Yeah, it's a pad.
Sorry for my.
No, it's all right. It's a pad specifically, designed for people in martial arts so they can absorb a kick like that. So
yeah.
It would be an honor to hold.
This is my okay.
Because I don't think she hits anybody in the face in this video. I don't think. The closest she comes is when she's doing a no contact with that one guy. It's after she does the form. She does that Southern Fist form. And then after that, it shows the guy. Now this one, no, it's before
this one here. Look,
yeah, she's not really hitting him. She's pulling her punches and kicks. Now, if you watch when she does this spinning, you see it.
This one,
she doesn't really hit him there, because
okay.
And this, like this, if you see her foot really doesn't hit him. So
did he touch him?
No. Now it's
how he took him down.
Can we go back to this fight? This is one of the most interesting for me. This fight.
It's a pretty sick fight.
This is because so much fast movements.
Yeah, but she's not hitting him.
And even not touching him.
No, it's not so close. No.
She's close. She's coming close, but she's pulling her punches and kicks. She doesn't really kick him there.
This is really part of the training.
Yes.
Not.
Yes. That is all.
Now I begin to understand this training. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's a good thing I behave. It's a good thing I behave myself at the Pasadena Playhouse, or else this could have happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even in the Kansas bar.
Yes.
In your Denver branch of the Kansas bar.
No, Rosa is awesome. God, I mean, I could watch this. We got to get off of this though, but I could watch this video 10 times.
Yeah,
she is so awesome in this thing, man.
That's awesome. I like this video.
Look at this.
Yeah,
God damn, boy, this is.
Look at the way it breaks.
Yeah. Oh boy, I tell you.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose is awesome, man. God almighty, that pulling off those techniques. But yeah, to get to your point, Smendrick, you know, when you're now, I don't mean to turn, and Angelus can help me out here too. I don't mean to turn this into a karate class, but you know, but one of the things that you learn when you first start sparring, you don't actually hit the people. You pull your punch. You know, you stop short of hitting them. You know, you execute the technique, but you don't actually hit them. It's not till you get to a more advanced belt, you know, or a more advanced stage in your training, you know, green belt, maybe brown belt, then you start maybe doing what's called light contact, you know, where you hit them, but it's not, you're not really hitting them hard. You know, it's like a left jab in boxing, if you want to think of it as that. When you get to the black belt level, that's when you can start, that's when you start fighting, or even in the brown belt level too, in the style we were in and I was in, and then in other styles. That's when you start really hitting somebody. Now, even in that case, when you're just sparring, you know, you're not intending to injure the other person. You don't really hit them with all you have. You're not trying to knock them out. You know, you hitting them, and you might hit them pretty good, you know, but you know, you're not trying to harm them. Now, that said, I remember sparring another black belt one time, and I got hit in the jaw so hard I could feel it in my ear. And I was out on my feet for several seconds. but that's not the intent, you know. So but anyway, that's
also, I have sparring with white belt.
You have a white belt, Finn?
Green belt.
Oh, but, green belt. Okay, yeah.
Yes. But full contact was with the white belt.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
Full contact with white belts?
Full contact with white belts.
Wow, that's that's something that that's something we didn't do in my style.
We don't call it full contact, we call it body conditioning.
Yeah.
And an additional question. Yeah. How do you learn to block real attacks in the future? Yeah. But you have to learn it, I think, from the beginning.
Practice. You just practice.
The practice. How do you learn how a punch would feel? If it,
you must feel pain.
You get hit in the face. You'll know what it feels like.
No, you need to calculate your power to block an attack.
How do you learn this? You don't calculate anything. It's just something you learn as you're learning it through kind of like the knowledge you get is like almost instinctive when you're hitting somebody. You know, you're not hitting them as hard as you can hit them, but you are hitting them. And it's just a matter of learning the control by just doing it over and over and over and actually executing the technique. That's basically how I learned it. Angelus, what about you? Did you, that was a similar thing for you maybe?
Yeah, it's just repetition breeds perfection.
Yeah, that's right.
You learn karate, Angelus?
Yeah, he's a black belt.
Black belt?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You didn't know Angelus was a black belt, did you? Yeah. So we got three people on here that know karate, I guess. Me, Angelus, and Finn. He's a green belt. Vladdy, did you ever do any? Yeah, Vladdy, did you do any?
I feel so inadequate now. No. Never did.
No, it's nothing to feel inadequate about, Vladdy. What about you, Lee? Lee, I'm sure you got some training, didn't you? In martial arts in the military, didn't you?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
I was in the Air Force. We're basically
that's right.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, that's
yeah, there's a reason that one of the nicknames for the Air Force is the Chair Force.
I thought Vladdy was
on the front.
Because like I did a style called Go Kanru, and Vladi does a style called Iger Roasting.
Oh, I did get some martial arts training
this is,
after I got out of the Air Force, though.
Oh, did you? What
I
style?
took 6 months of Aikido, so
Oh,
you know,
okay.
take that for what
Oh,
it's worth.
nice.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, with Panzer Kunst, and what I want to do is I want to play. Let me go to the next slide, I guess, because a lot of Alita's movements in the movie. Now, I'm not going to play the bar fight because that's more or less a brawl. Although she did use some techniques there, like she used a tornado kick one time or 2 times. And, she did a roundhouse kick on a guy, was attacking her when she was standing.
Norris.
Yeah. I would tell you this, if Alita was a real character, Chuck Norris wouldn't stand a chance. But anyway, but she's not, But anyway, let me play a couple of more videos here and you're going to see this is how well they did this, but it's going to be very
and she's got great form. You can tell it's all been so choreographed really well.
Yeah. Well, here's that mirror punch scene. Now, what's neat about this is, and the music's not going to be played here because we'd get yeeted, but so that's a blade hand. Now it's called different things in different styles. There's a back fist, an inward block, and outward block. And that's a chain punch right there. So that's a Tai Chi movement, what she did there. That's called snake creeps down. So, and then of course, that's just it says hurts a Heian. That is a legitimate at least in the manga, that's a legitimate Panzer Kunst technique. Now in her doll body, she can't take full advantage of it, because in the Berserker body or in the Imaginos body, she can project an electromagnetic force that would do further damage to another cyborg or an android. But she doesn't have that capability in the doll body. Now, that said, she can knock the shit out of you with that punch, even with the bing, that one right there. So what happens is with that hurts a Heian punch, basically what that is that it's a punch that basically causes damage, physical damage to the other cyborg, but with she can project an electromagnetic type of energy from the end of her fist that can disable any kind of systems that she punches. Like she punches another cyborg in the chest, then it could disable any systems that are in the cyborg's chest, because it's like an EMP, if you want to think of it as that, So it's kind of like the philosophy that some martial arts have, that chi philosophy, where you punch somebody, you kick them, your chi extends past your fist into their body, and in theory, and I say theory, it causes more damage. Now, that's kind of ancient philosophy there, but that's kind of the idea behind it. So when she's in her Berserker body, of course, she can even project plasma, when she does that. And as a matter of fact, in one of Lee's, in his fanfic, she kind of does that to Fenrir, doesn't she? She punches him and then projects that plasma, and it just...
Actually, what she did was she fainted, and then when her left hand was out of sight, she sheathed it in plasma. Yeah. So he didn't see it, so he was unprepared for it when she stabbed him to the chest with it.
Oh, okay, that's what it was, yeah.
But you see a knife hand through his chest.
Yeah. Now, the knife hand itself was pretty damaging by itself, but the plasma kind of kicked it up several orders of magnitude in terms of damage, Yep. So, yeah.
Plasma vaporized critical components inside his cyber core.
You betcha. So you saw her do that one move, that snake creeps down. You saw that. You see that guy on the right up the top there. That's what he's doing. He's doing snake creeps down. That's a Tai Chi move. Now, hers is a little different. He's got kind of like an open hand at the bottom, and he's kind of got like what do they call that, Angelus? Up to what his that guy's left hand is kind of in more like a hook kind of situation, whereas Alita has hers both. She's got both her fists balled up, you know, like she's going to hit something, you know.
Oh,
now
muted.
Oh yeah, you were muted. Yes. So anyway, that's you know, that's kind of a kung fu orient. Although she did a combination. Let me play. I'm gonna play it again. So
great comparison shots there.
Yeah. This is a combination.
She nails that form.
Yeah. This is a combination of karate and kung fu right here. The back fist, of course, is karate. Overhead blocks and outward block. Chain punch is karate. And then this right here, that was
more with hands.
Yeah. Karate is kind of a hard style. I guess what you would normally think of as a hard style. And of course, the Creek thinks Alita's cute, so he put those hearts there. But anyway, whereas Kung Fu, although Kung Fu can be hard, but I mean, when you practice it, you go through the forms, it's more of a soft style, generally speaking, not every time, you know. So now you see at the bottom there's a picture of Bruce Lee on the bottom. He's doing a flying side kick right there. And Alita did the same thing when she fought Nisiana. She did a flying side kick there as well. So let me play that video.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So beautiful.
Now, I'm sorry I can't play the music. That's a flying side kick. And
flying
of course,
double side kick.
Well, she only hit him with 1 foot, so I mean that would be just one. But
you didn't know what hit him.
Yeah. Well, when he did learn what hit him, it was too late. So now here's another thing about karate. It doesn't matter if your opponent is armed or not. Your techniques, that's what you kind of
Remember, that was developed in a time where I think China might have had more control or more influence.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't, but the Japanese emperor decided, you know, he wanted more control over his subjects. So he basically forbid any weapons. So
yeah,
farmers disguised weapons as farming tools.
Mhm.
And they essentially developed a fighting style that was like Panzerkunst, how it was designed for cyborgs. They developed a style that was used to combat against armored samurai. So
Yeah.
a lot of penetrating attacks, a lot of attacks that might involve like your heels, and you know, even I was going to say, and I will say, elbows and knees, because while Muay Thai focuses more on that, like it's still one of the most known hardest parts in the human body. So obviously you'd use that as a bit of a club, because again, weapons were forbidden. So yeah.
There's another use of a weapon.
Yes.
So she used primarily karate techniques right there. She did two flying side kicks. She did a drop kick as well, which is not really a karate technique. I don't think it's more of a thing you see in wrestling, I guess. But she still did it. You know, when she was on the ground and Nisiana tried to hit her with one of those blades, she jumped up and kind of did a drop, what is an improvised drop kick looking thing. It kicked her back up on the wall, you know, and then of course she did a flying side kick and kicked her against the wall the second time, and then of course did kind of a double
Wrestling,
sidekick.
Alita wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. Where she basically, let me play that again. So she looks cute there, doesn't she, Vladi?
Yeah, but she's about to kill loads of people.
Boom. That's a kick, flying sidekick. Then ground and pound. That's a UFC or MMA technique, actually. So
Double sidekick.
That's the face we need.
yeah.
Double.
And you can see all that training that Rosa did in that other video. And that's just a snippet. She did more than that, obviously. You can see how she's able to pull off a lot of this stuff. Now, I'm sure there was a stunt person there also, but she did just damn near all of it, if not all of it, herself. I mean,
yeah, okay, for insurance reasons, as I said before.
There's a double drop. That's a drop kick right there. Now here's a side kick or a flying side kick, bang, like that, boom, and then there's a double side kick, bam. Then of course that decapitates her, so that's the end of that fight. So,
yep.
I like the look on her face too. It's the look on her face is just like, okay, what's next?
So creaky. If our queen looks at you in this way, you should be very.
She looks at any of us like this. Here's a front kick right here. Kind of an improvised front kick, but yeah, that was a front kick. How was that, big boy? And then here comes that axe kick. Now that's like that kick that you saw the Angelus put up there when that guy knocked that other guy out. Except in this case, she takes his arm off. So it's a little different, boom, so anyway, that's that. So God,
yeah, I wouldn't say Grushka, considering he tried to take on Alita, I wouldn't say Grushka had much of a brain to knock out in the first place. So yeah, there's
exactly.
that.
Exactly.
Well, that's where the advantage of not having a reputation comes in, because he had no idea who she was.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't.
Which means it was very easy for him to underestimate her.
Well, not only that. Oh, there's Finn. Finn got kicked out for some reason. Finn, I didn't kick you out.
I think little.
But anyway, but to your
network problems. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, even the creek.
They seem to be going around.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, you remember Grushka didn't know about anything about Alita until Vector. Well, not Vector, but Nova told him. You remember he said, you'll never triumph until you understand what she is or who she is,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that was that. Okay, here's another video. Now this, you mentioned a while ago, the zero gravity training. This is that scene that we're all familiar with, that
yeah.
See, they're learning how to control their bodies.
Training, sick.
Yeah, that's a nice thing.
Now that's a training that they don't train martial artists on Earth.
Yeah.
And of course now some of that's a double roundhouse, I guess. I'm not sure what that was. Here's a front kick, and then here's a double side kick. One to the midsection, the other one to the knee. So I'll play that again, I think.
Yeah. Do it. We need to see much more of this in the sequence.
Yeah, we do.
Really. Especially the zero gravity training would be great.
Double round side kick.
Boom. And that's a hip throw right there. I guess that's more of a judo. No, that's not a judo thing because we did hip throws. So did y'all do hip throws, Angelus and Shotokan? And did y'all do that or?
we talk like the basic techniques, whereas a style like jiu-jitsu would be like would teach you like multiple versions of it.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
right.
choose then you choose whatever you feel most comfortable in executing on the spot, on the fly, instinctively. You know, someone might think, oh yeah, I like the way it looks, and then they go and practice it 1,000 times, and all of a sudden they get good at it. So that's what their body remembers.
Yeah, that's right.
But we talk the basics on, you know, you need to shift your weight, position yourself, and that's how you execute the basis that a style like jiu-jitsu builds on.
Yeah. Oh, Finn! Oh, poor old Finn keeps getting kicked out.
God damn! Is it my computer or is that SteamYard?
You got Windows 11 on that computer, Finn?
I think so. No.
Oh, okay.
Damn it! I hate it.
Okay, so anyway, that's pretty much what I have for the hand fighting techniques. Now, I don't have any video on this one, but part of her training, you know, and when we say martial arts, some folks think it's only fighting with your hands and feet, but it's not. You know, I mean, you learn weapons too. I mean, for instance, when I was really, you know, I guess more, I don't know what the word to use here, but more into karate myself or martial arts. I learned the nunchucks is what I use, and that's where you got the two clubs that are connected with a rope, and you kind of spin them around and you hit people with them and stuff like that, you know. So I learned that. You know, you saw Rosa using the staff or the bow is what they call it in martial arts. So, you know, it's not unusual for someone who's training in martial arts to actually learn a weapon. Not everybody does this though. But in the case of Alita, she is not only adept at using like blade weapons, like the Damascus blade, but she's also very adept at using firearms. And one of the firearms, of course, that she used, you see on the left there, is that Gatling gun. She knew how to fire that thing, you know. So she's an expert because that was probably the first time she ever picked up that gun right there. You know, and that was probably at least a 50 caliber, at least gun. It had like 4 barrels on it, like a Gatling gun does, you know. And she was, easily picked that gun up and, you know, drug it over there and shot the deckman with it, you know. And then, of course, she threw it, you know. So, you know, but she also, you saw in the movie as well, she also fired a plasma rifle. You know, she could do that. In the manga, and particularly in the Mars Chronicles, she has kind of a sentient gun that's on her shoulder called Danko. Now, she doesn't actually control Danko. Danko is has a freedom of will, you know, but you know, he does, you know, he does kind of do what he has to do to help Alita, protect her, and that kind of say. But basically, you know, that's another firearm that she's at least familiar with. And we also saw her using a revolver, you know, or a pistol rather. And of course, when she fought Zerkerpan, she, you know, had that revolver, had collapser rounds in it, and she shot him. And of course, that was the end of him. You know, he remembers Zerkerpan said, "You didn't think that puny little old pistol or something to that effect is going to take me down, did you?" And then, of course, I guess the collapser nanites didn't have time to, hadn't expired enough time, hadn't expired for them to start really taking him down. And then, of course, then he realizes what's happening, you know, at that point, you know. So, but anyway, she is very adept. Alita is at using, you know, any kind of weapon. And you saw her use use Ito's rocket hammer, you know, and that she had never picked that rocket hammer up before, but she knew how to use it, you know. So she is, I would say she was like an expert or a master at using weapons. Yeah, that's right, bad
What do you guys think? Is there something? Is there an equivalent to the rocket hammer and real life weapons? No. Or am I wrong?
Well,
I haven't really heard of anything.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're talking about an actual rocket-powered melee weapon.
Yeah, not anything like that. Now, melee weapons like axes, an axe certainly, and you saw.
I would go as far as saying I don't know if it originated from English warfare, but the glaive or halberd would probably be the closest weapon. The Japanese equivalent would be the naginata.
The Scots had a claymore.
Or even just like a basic. Actually, no, I was about to say spear, but that's more thrusting than swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the glaive or halberd would probably be the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I never have heard about this before, so I cannot imagine the design and the usage.
Well, I am so sure that Alita could pick up a Scottish claymore and use it very well. I'm sure she could, Yeah.
All right, this is a glaive.
Yeah.
So I'm probably thinking more along the lines of a halberd.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember in Germany it's Hellebarde. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pull up claymore.
Hellebarde, yes.
Yeah. And there's a claymore.
Swiss army weapon.
Yeah.
Due to the size and weight, it's used more like the previous weapons that we were showing.
Yeah.
Claymore.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep. So our girl is quite adept at fighting, and of course we know that. She certainly can fight unarmed with her hands and feet, but she can also fight with swords, blade weapons. She can fight with guns. Certainly she's got that inherent plasma weapon. So
she's got everything covered.
She's one badass female.
Stunning.
And she looks good doing it. Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Oh yes. Yes,
the word even the word itself, martial, means is like an adjective used to describe any particular given whatever you're trying to describe. It gives it a combative or warlike or military sort of description or feeling to it.
Well, you think about the word martial art. Yeah, martial art. Think about Panzerkunst. I mean, that's German for armor art. So, in other words, they armor art at cyborgs, so it's a very similar type of situation just built into the name, I think. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. We've been going a little over 2 hours here. Creek's internet problem notwithstanding. Any other topics, or you want to see that Rosa video again, or anybody?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
We'll watch it one more time. We'll watch it.
Yeah, come on.
One
more last
time.
Please.
Yeah.
Here's one for you, Creaky. Look up in the US how much Disney Plus membership cost versus what a Netflix membership would cost.
I bought Netflix, or I got Netflix in a bundle, so I'm not sure. might have been $12 a month. I don't know what it was. I have to look, but
The first part is one of the best.
yeah.
And that's what happened if you don't greenlight the sequel.
That's what would have happened to Creaky if he hadn't have behaved himself at the Pasadena Playhouse.
Thankfully, you just about did.
That's right. She is awesome, man. I mean, you know, a lot of actors or actresses wouldn't have, well, a lot of them would, but some of them wouldn't go to this level of preparation. I think they would, well, I know a few things. I'll just let the stunt people do it, you know. Not Rosa, boy.
So
Rosa.
great.
She did the work.
Yeah, Rosa.
This scene is absolutely. Look at her face.
Yeah, she's got some intensity going there, doesn't she?
You
I like this
outward
jumping crescent kick. Look at this, bang! That was an outward
Jumping.
crescent kick.
Yeah. Play this again. It's so incredible. Look at her eyes.
Yeah.
The intensity.
She's taking it serious, boy.
It's yeah. You believe her.
Yeah.
She's fighting. Wow.
That's so good.
That's our queen.
Yep. I like this one too. I mean, it's
This is good. This is
now this is an example of how Kung Fu can be a hard style as well. See, so it's not all soft like Tai Chi, you know. So
that is not Tai Chi, no. Oh, Tai Chi is not a.
Tai Chi's a
martial arts.
Yeah, Tai Chi's a martial art, but it's you know it's
not really.
It's mostly for conditioning and well-being and stuff like that, you know. So, but I can tell you, the master of the style of my style, he passed away some years ago, but you know, I sparred him one time, and I'm telling you, man, he kicked my ass. Just for sure, you know. He was a 10th degree black belt. Here I am, a lowly little old 1st degree black belt fighting a 10th degree black belt. It wasn't even close at all in any way.
And the stick brokes.
Our queen is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Okay, well, I don't want to go into this too much because we're going to go over this tomorrow in Radio Chaos. But some of the things I want folks to think about, some of you that are going to be tuned into Radio Chaos tomorrow, be thinking ahead of time of what we can do to help, you know, us get a sequel, help Rosa, help Cameron, help Rodriguez, help us. What can we do to help get a sequel? You know, I mean,
with special guest Vladdy.
Vladdy's going to be the guest tomorrow. He's damn near regular. Are you kidding me? Vladdy's damn near regular.
he'll give a demonstration on his Iger roasting style.
That's it.
Doesn't. I don't think that should be top of the list of how can we support getting a sequel.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's what we're going to talk about next week, but we'll get to there. So be thinking about that, you know, what you can do. Now, you know, certainly anybody in the chat here or on the panel, you know, for sure. I mean, you don't have to get a YouTube channel and start doing stuff. If you want to, I know Chaos Nova and I both have said, anybody want any help with that, I'll help you. And so will he, you know, so just let us know, you know, send us a DM, you know, Creaky, I want to start doing Alita videos or something like that. What do I do? You know, I'll help you. You know, if you want to start doing streaming, I'll come on your stream. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know, we just want these sequels, you know, and anything we can do to do it. But anyway, be thinking about that. Okay, guys, did we miss anything?
We just miss Rosa on social media. Right, Vlad?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. I know. When I talked to Rosa the first time on September 14th, I told her we missed her on
Angela,
social
sorry,
media.
I only caught you saying right, Vlads. I was away for a second.
I said we
birthday for you.
He was saying, have we missed anything? And I said, just Rosa on social media. As in, we miss Rosa.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she did tell Charlie she'll be back when the sequels go ahead, so...
Yeah.
I knew it was all Disney's fault. Literally everything is.
Well, I'll tell you right now, because when I said we missed her, and she said something to the effect that she kind of acknowledged that, but she said, you know, it's too toxic or something to that effect. That's not an exact quote, but you know, I think when she does come back, because we are going to get a sequel. That's my strong belief now. But you know, us in the Alita Army, we need to be ready to jump on people that try to harass her. I mean, I know the Creek's going to do that. So, you know,
yeah, maybe.
Who's going to harass her? Everyone loves Rosa.
Well, they harassed her before, from what I understand. I mean,
oh,
you know,
do you mean the Maze Runner crazy fans?
Well,
Nobody
those plus other
avocados.
Maybe
the Alita avocados.
The Alita avocados did nothing.
The avocados had nothing to do with this.
Literally nothing.
Okay, so anyway,
maybe we can get her to our regular table.
Yes, Rosa, become a regular on our stream.
Well, she's
no, there is a story behind it. Creaky maybe can explain this.
I meant to put a slide in here on this, you know, but after the stream, we'll put the link back up here, and then people can jump on and talk to us. And we're not going to be streaming. We'll just be here in the StreamYard, but we're not going to be streaming. You won't be on YouTube or anything like that. You'll just be with us. So, and we and I meant to put a slide up on that called the Stammtisch and that stuff, you know, but I forgot to do it. So anyway,
but you
would you agree? Slide game, Creaky.
Would you agree, Creaky, that this could be an idea, an offline, not for the public?
Yeah. Well, I still don't think she'd be predisposed to doing it. You know, I think she's going to stay. I think she's going to stay off the internet until the green light. I think then she'll get back on Instagram. You know, so that's what I think is going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
The Battle Angel has returned.
Yes,
man, that's
like Jesus coming back.
I'll call him back.
The Queen is risen. Yes. All right, guys, did we miss anything?
We missed so much things.
So much.
Yeah.
We missed
Alita. We missed
Alita. We miss Rosa. We miss a lot of stuff.
We miss green lights and more green lights.
And we
miss Alita sequels.
Yes.
Not just one sequel. It's
well,
the
Creek,
John Landau.
The Creek wants 5.
Yeah,
that's what the Creek wants.
You're right, Finn. John Landau, of course.
Cameron did say Alita Battle Angel films, so
yeah.
Yeah, he did lay out the plan for at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see from that center panel right there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. And that's because he wants to get her a sequel. For sure, you know. But yeah, we all want a sequel. And who did we lose?
Vladdy again.
We lost Vladdy. Vladdy's internet's giving him grief, I guess.
Yeah.
Between Vladdy and Finn and Creek's internet, we were just having.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
My PC
Well, here's
hates
our
me.
queen right here, and of course, you know, she is, in terms of being an
So
actress,
beautiful.
she is number one in the Creeks book, that's for sure. And certainly, Charlie and I had a lot of fun talking to her. She just really is. She is so sweet. I mean, you know, there's Vladi. He's get Vladi's internet going back here. So, but anyway,
Windows
Rosa.
11.
It just closed again. I couldn't just leave without saying goodbye to Rosa.
Yeah, for sure. You know, but anyway, yeah, Rosa's number one in the Creeks book. That's for sure. She is a great actress. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed her at the Pasadena Playhouse. I mean, she portrayed her part of Roxanne perfectly. You know, I also want to give shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher because they brought Screwhead to life, and we want Screwhead in the sequel. You know, we want her to team up with
Yes.
Alita when they take on Joshigan, you know, and Screwhead can play motorball. She can definitely do it, you know, and I think she'll make up with Alita because how Vector kind of played them all, and she's disgusted with it. And she said, "Okay, Alita, I'm your pal now, and I'm, you know, you got a badass buddy to back you up." You know, that's kind of what that is. Certainly, all three of these are these actresses, and of course, in Jesse's case, she's a stunt woman, but they're all good at what they do. But it don't hurt that they're pretty, and they really are, you know. But mostly they're just great actresses and stunt person. You know, I mean, that's it. You know, they're super at their profession. You know, and we are lucky to have you know, folks of this talent, you know, or this level, you know, to be able to play the characters like Alita for Rosa, and of course certainly Screwhead would be Elle and Jesse. But and Angelus, you're going to be the host tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, give Maxie a bit of a break.
Yeah.
And give the army the rest of a break from Maxie's voice.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, what I said a while ago is the reason why I want everybody to think about, you know, what you can do to help get a sequel. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We're going to be taking notes, and we're going to act on them. You know, is what we're going to do.
We can many things too.
Yep. I know what we talked about in the Zoom meeting yesterday was possibly doing another LA Times ad. Or that yesterday or day before? I think it was day before. Yeah. So we might do that as well. So anyway, tune in for this one, you know, because we're going to come up with some ideas here and then just keep things moving along, I guess, to kind of give any help we can give Rosa and James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, anything we can do to help them, even in the smallest amount, I'm sure it would be helpful. Anyway, guys, I'm glad all you guys came on for sure. You know, I mean, you know, we got to do our part, you know, to keep Alita current. And thanks, Smendrick, for coming on. And, you know, you've been a regular yourself lately. And, of course, Angelus being the co-host, Lee and Finn. You know, we're glad you kind of buckled up and came on with us. You know, certainly you're welcome here anytime. And Vladi certainly is as well.
Thanks.
And, you know, I
think I'm coming more in the stream.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I think I'm coming more times to the stream. In the
stream.
stream.
Yeah,
do it, man.
You do a great job.
Yeah, do it. You know, I mean, we'd love to have you for sure, you know.
It's every time funny.
You bet. Es ist gut von Sie zu hören.
Whoa.
Yeah. So anyway, we are the Alita Army. Certainly we want those sequels, and we support Alita and Rosa a lot. And Disney, we're not going anywhere. We are here to stay, and we are going to stay here until we get those sequels. And that's just a fact of life you're going to have to deal with, because if you don't, Vladi's not going to do anything.
Yeah. I'll make more tweets.
Yeah, more tweets. That's right. Vladi will get some tweets and set them on fire is what he'll do.
Yeah, even on Blue Sky, because they reached now over 12 million users.
Nice. I got to get back on there. I haven't been on
it
there
is
for
quite
a while.
nice, Blue Sky. You do get people talking about Alita there as well, so it's cool.
Yeah, some very interesting people from Brazil with some new art and whatever.
Is there an Alita Army hashtag and Alita sequels?
Yeah, we occupied everything we use on X.
Nice. That's
very
that's
good.
Yeah.
Even Alita Army as user. Yeah, even
cool.
Alita Army as user is registered, I think, by Maxtech, but I don't know exactly.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Very good. Very nice.
All righty. Well, why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it, and I am the producer, and I am the stream manager, and I'm also the janitor. I'm the security guard. Well, I guess no, Angelus is a security guy, and we're other things too, I guess. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I am only here for our girl. And the Alita Army, and of course, all of us in the Alita Army are only here for our girl because we want those sequels. That's what we want. And basically, we only have one thing left to do, and that would be the call to action on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Fill those sequels, baby. All right, so we'll see you next week on the Alita live stream. We'll see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos. Bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.